し
メガネ、部屋着。
もしもし、音聞こえない？
今日は全然痛みとかはない。
びっくりした。
We have established that this show is incredibly written and just incredible overall, and it has been one of those things that didn't really like start off as like masterful, but as it's gone on, it's done this storytelling, this slow burn of love so well between these two really young kids who are really polar opposites. They come from completely different worlds. They're completely different heights, completely different personalities, completely different ways that they view the world, and that's what makes it beautiful. And in reality, you know, the best relationships out there, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, you know, but the best relationships out there are when you have two individuals who do look at things different. Now, will that cause some friction in some spaces at times? Yes. But I think it's so well needed, you know, when you're trying to have a really healthy relationship, even if it's your first one or anything like that. It's really healthy to have these basically two parts that can make a whole, right? And you can have a really beautiful relationship that way. And I really think that that's what's really cool about this anime overall. And if I haven't said it before, it's incredible. Now, this episode took us on a roller coaster of emotions, and I really love that we're finally getting to the point to where Yamada and Ichikawa can begin to hold hands and kind of begin to kind of go on to that next step. And for Ichikawa, it's a little slower, and for Yamada, although she does find herself in a lot of embarrassing like type situations, she's a little more forthright and a little bit more expressive, and you know, she's more go get it kind of thing. And even when it comes to like her bubble and her space, she's willing to kind of let Ichikawa get into that bubble and space, even kind of break through her own bubble herself. And I think a really good example of this is they're in the park, right? And Ichikawa's talking about, I brought your scarf or whatever. And she literally leans over, basically like she's like over him, like she's right here for him to go and get it out of the bag or whatever, or rummage through the bag. And right then and there, like that tells me like her comfortability level with him is skyrocketed. It's 9,000 at this point. Like he pretty much do anything, you know. I don't mean as anything within like bad, but he could put his arm around her, he could hug her, he could grab her, you know, like, you know, normal tendencies that you would between somebody who you would consider a partner or you know, a potential one or whatever, like somebody you're really close to. And I just think that is just so cool. Now, obviously for Ichikawa, it's a little bit, you know, he's baby steps, and he's not as forthright. He's not as aggressive. He's not as transparent with his thoughts. You know, even if he's thinking about, you know, holding hands, it still takes, you know, Yamada the first for her to kind of make that first it's okay move before he takes action. A lot of action comes from his inaction because of Yamada. And that even extended to the same scene, you know, when we're in the park. And, you know, throughout the whole entire stuff, he was worried about giving her, you know, he got a gift for her because he knew that she liked dogs, which I think it's important to know what the person you have interest in, the person you like, you know, it's important to know what that person likes, right? And he gets her a keychain, and the keychain, really, really cute, kind of resembles her dog, which was a corgi, just like mine. But instead, it's an Akita. And regardless, you know, Akita are very, you know, people in Japan, for whatever, really love Akitas. And he gets her an Akita one, and because he remembers, you know, she likes dogs and stuff. And he's all gung-ho about it until the time comes, and then he begins to second guess that's his personality, right? That's his character, that's his archetype. He begins to second guess everything, like, is it too much? What's she gonna think at the fact that I know she likes dogs? What is she gonna think I'm weird? Is she gonna think this is too much? Is she gonna accept it but then be like, ugh, you know, like all these thoughts, criminal thoughts, come into his mind during this time. And it takes that action again from her to talk about the scarf that she gave him. And she was like, "Oh, I was really hoping that you would, like I wanted you to have this. Like I was really hoping that you would keep this." See, Corgi spotted back there. I was really hoping that you would keep this, and this was like a gift. I think it looks great on you. Blah 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 blah. Right? And he was like, at that moment, he was like, "Okay, I could do that. I can keep it. I'll keep it. I got something for you though. Like, let's go over her hand." And he grabs it. He gives it to her, and she's over the moon. For a lot, even though it's like a little keychain, it's a keychain for somebody that you love, right? Because she's definitely in love with him. And I thought that was so cute. Like she jumped up and she got excited and exhilarated, and she let it all be shown. And I was like, that is just so cute. It's just so cute, and I love that moment for both of them. And we see him walking away or whatever, and he ends up wearing her scarf. I was like, okay, that's a really, really, really cute moment for both of them. So again, a lot of growth that happened. In their relationship. Then, outside of those moments, right, we have a lot of growth that happened with Ichi again, and I got really dark all of a sudden. We have a lot of growth that happened with Ichi again. And what ended up happening was, very, very long story short, because you guys saw the episode, is, he got confronted by friends, by the girl in his class that calls him Ichi, and I think she kind of likes him, to be honest. But regardless, he got confronted by the dude that's been trying to get in Yamada's pants this whole entire season. Even the dude for the bike scene and stuff. And he sees Ichikawa, and he's like, this is his in to try and get her number again. Long story short, he basically ends up getting the girls away. He asks Ichi, let me get that line, let me get that number. And Ichi finally gets the balls, the cojones, and he just says, no. And he's like, but why? And he's like, I don't need a reason. I don't want to. And he like fiercely, I was like, yes, my man. He grew some balls. I was like, I like it. So that was a really good growth moment for him as well too. Last thing I'll touch on, with this episode, is I like how I like and dislike, but I like how Ichi finally realized that him and his sister are very alike, from their tendencies to their personality to the way that they kind of give up on things that they want. And I was like, of course you guys are alike. You're siblings. It's very natural that you take after your sister and you rub off on her, and it's very, very natural that happened. Of course, you guys, your family, your siblings, it's very natural. I see it in my kids all the time. Of course, like, yes, you guys are alike. You're gonna be very unalike in a lot of ways, but you're gonna be alike in a lot of ways too. So I just thought that was really cool. He obviously he realized that, but he didn't really use that as like an interest to grow closer to his sister, which I think he really should, because for somebody who doesn't have siblings, and from seeing my kids that do, it's very important to be really close to your siblings if you can. So I thought that was a really cool moment. And then the dislike part, because I mentioned like and dislike. The dislike part is his sister was really excited about being able to share the little keychain, have matching keychains. She even told Ichi, like, hey, when we go to the shrine, let's wear our matching keychains. So his sister's probably going to feel some type of way when she sees Yamada with it. Instead, it's one of those things to where it's, she's still a girl, it's his sister, but obviously he loves his sister. He should have been more willing to have a matching keychain with her, or something with her, but he should have also been forthright of, like, I'm buying this for my friend Yamada. So lots of other stuff that happened this episode that I didn't touch on, but I'm already at time and I don't want to go over it. So I'll just say, incredible episode, lots of stuff. The writing is deep, and it's as extensive as an ocean, and I love it so much. This anime is just so good. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought in this episode in the comments below. I'll see you guys next week. I'll probably be late on that episode because I'm going on vacation, but just in case, I'll try and be on time if I can. Depends when I get back and when I get home. All right, my friends, deuces.